I want to take a little tangent and sort of give you a little more insight on the difference between doc types, specifically the difference between XHTML and HTML. Now, HTML, we're referring to the strict version. It really emphasizes. We already said that it emphasizes structure over presentation, so you just can't use some presentation tags without generating errors. But there's also like subtle syntax differences that I want you guys to know about. Because when you're using the validator, you'll see that you're getting errors and you may not understand why. So I'll show you exactly what I'm referring to. Let me start a new page, and I'm going to start it just again what it was, strict, and I'll put it in there. And then let me go back to my text document. I'm going to copy all this. I'm going to paste it in the WYSIWYG, and here we go. Now we already kind of cleaned this up a bit, but let's look at, just for example, this standalone BR tag. You see how it entered this BR tag? This BR tag is an HTML style BR tag because it's just a standalone tag that it doesn't need to be closed like this. The BR tag doesn't actually do that. There's a couple of special tags that have that just kind of stand alone, with the BR being one of them. So when you add that, this is how it is to put a line break, right? I know we've gone ahead and deleted it, but this is less about the line break thing, but more about what kind of code gets generated. Now I'm going to create a new document, and as the doc type, instead of using the HTML 4.1 strict, I'm going to use this XHTML strict, okay? And all right, you probably think it's no different, so let me paste this code in here all of a sudden. Let's go back and see what the BR tag looks like. Check this out. Slightly different, because when it was HTML, it was just BR, whoops, like that. You see, and notice how when it the code hinting in Dreamweaver, when I put that in there, it already formats it properly for XHTML. In reality, whether you use XHTML or HTML, the rendering is not going to be different. This XHTML BR tag is going to look the same as this HTML BR tag, but this is one of those subtle differences that you ought to keep in mind when you're working on your document and you get errors. When we link to outside documents like CSS documents, since we're using, often you see in my videos I'm copying and pasting code from the web. Well, sometimes you'll find like links to those CSS documents that end in / and the greater than sign, and then it generates an error. You may not realize why it's happening, but just keep in mind that there are subtle differences. This may not make complete sense to you now, but we'll kind of reinforce the concept more and more, and you'll kind of get a better idea. It's kind of these kind of things that if you don't know them, they could sort of drive you a little bit nuts when you're trying to design stuff, because they could really mess with the way the page renders. So hope this helps.